In Australia and New Zealand, this product should be installed by an authorised tradesperson. Before you begin to install the InSinkErator steaming hot water tap, make sure you're familiar with all your local plumbing and electrical standards and follow them throughout. Also, be sure to refer to your installation, care and use manual. You'll need an earth-grounded electrical outlet under your sink. For 230 volt countries, this product requires a 10 amp fuse, and for 115 volt countries, a 15 amp fuse. Here are the tools you'll need for the installation: a cordless drill, Phillips and flathead screwdrivers, an adjustable wrench, pliers, utility knife, pencil, ruler, tube bender, tube cutter, a bowl to catch drips, cord ties or wraps, and a level. Turn off the water supply, then unpack the steaming hot water tap and carefully straighten the copper tubing. Each model contains slightly different components. Only the Series 1100 models have the filter as standard, for example. Note which model you're installing: the HC1100, which provides hot and cold water, or the GN1100 or H990, which dispense hot water only. First, mount the tap. You may need to consult a specialist before carefully drilling the 35mm hole through your sink countertop. Then feed the 2 copper and 3 plastic pipes, plus the threaded stud, through the hole. Make sure the seal is properly seated on the tap valve body and that it surrounds the sink mounting hole. Working from under the sink, place the semicircular mounting plate on the threaded stud. For the Series GN1100 taps, attach the hex nut, then, using the tool provided, tighten the nut sufficiently to keep the tap from rotating. The H990 tap has a wing nut instead of the hex nut. Now mount the hot water tank under the sink. Position it vertically within 400mm of the tap cold water line and within 760mm of a standard grounded electrical outlet. Hold the tank in the selected position and pencil mark locations for 2 hanging screws. Drill 2 3mm holes and secure the tank. Don't extend plumbing or electrical lines, but do allow for drainage from the underside of the tank. Without depressing the grey button, place the snap-connected fitting at the end of the blue tube onto the left plastic fitting on the tank. Push until it clicks into place. Slip the white tube over the middle fitting and slide it down approximately 13mm. Slip the small white tube over the far right fitting and slide it down the same distance. Look for pinched or crimped tubes, but don't plug the tank unit in yet. Filter installation may be standard or optional depending on your model. Install the head and filter bracket assembly in such a way that all plumbing connections can be made without stretching or kinking the tube. Also, make sure the mounting location allows for the filter cartridge to be replaced. The filter should never be mounted over an electrical outlet. Mark the mounting hole locations and attach the bracket with the screws provided. If you wish to redirect water discharge when the filter cartridge is replaced, slide one end of the 150mm tube over the vent line that opens when the cartridge is removed and direct it downwards where the water can be caught in a bowl or towel. Next, make the plumbing connections. This involves making tube connections, and here you'll find a couple of minor variations depending on your model. Cut the tubing as square as possible to the desired lengths. When cutting either plastic or copper tubing, care must be taken to remove all burrs that may harm the quick connect fittings, and be sure to insert tubing completely into them. To remove, depress the release ring and gently pull out the tubing. When installing the F701 filtration system, completely insert the 9.5mm polyethylene tubing into the inlet side of the filter head. Do the same with a similar length of tubing into the outlet side of the filter head. Make sure that when routing the tubing between components, you keep it from interfering with the cabinet's storage area. Avoid sharp bends and leave extra lengths for ease of servicing. If you're installing the GN1100 model, you'll now insert the outlet tubing into the Quick Connect Union fitting. Then insert the tap copper tube, marked with white tape, into the Quick Connect Union fitting. If you're installing the H990 model, remember it has no filter. To install the HC1100 model, insert the tubing from the outlet side of the filter head into the Quick Connect Y fitting. Then insert both tap copper tubes, one taped and one not, into the Y fitting. To connect the polyethylene tube from the input side of the filter to your cold water supply line, use the plastic adapter provided. Simply push the adapter onto the cold water supply line. Then push the tube into the adapter. For the H990 model, connect the 6mm copper tube to your cold water supply. Please contact your local service centre if your installation kit does not contain the fitting you need. Without plugging the unit into the electrical outlet, turn on the cold water supply. Then depress or turn the hot tap handle on and hold it to fill the tank. The tank will fill up and cold water will come out of the tap. Run the tap for 3 minutes to flush the system, making sure all connections are watertight. Now you can plug in the tank to the earth-grounded outlet. The green LED light on the front of the tank will now illuminate. It indicates that electrical power is connected to the tank. It will take 10 to 15 minutes for the water to reach its target temperature. Some water may drip from the tap during the first heating cycle, but this is normal. Simply turn on the hot water for 15 seconds and allow it to reheat. The system is now ready to produce 98 degrees centigrade water on command, but you may want to adjust the temperature to the desired setting. It's preset at the factory to approximately 96 degrees centigrade. Care must be taken not to allow the water to boil. If this happens, you'll experience steam and water dripping from the tap. Simply decrease the temperature by half dial mark increments anti-clockwise so that the unit operates at or below 98 degrees.